I feel as though that all of this pressure is either going to make this into a diamond of a game or it's going to shatter. The unbearable weight that Battlefield 6 holds now, it's going to be the foundation for future games. And not just Battlefield games, I'm talking FPS games. See, for those who don't know, Battlefield 6 has been kicking off to a really great start. I'm talking a fantastic start. Almost 700,000 people playing on Steam alone, let alone I can only imagine what it would be like on consoles. This game slaps, and I'm not going to review it because I think a lot of people have already said their piece about it, so there's not really an opinion about that, but instead I wanted to talk about what it is about Battlefield 6 that scares me the most.
Have you ever heard the phrase, less is more, and thought, well, that's confusing. It's like saying, the less chocolate cake I eat, the more satisfied I
feel. We are looking at this game that has everything that we've wanted and never had any kind of innovation to it, and we're calling it a miracle. Now, I stress this because a lot of AAA games out there, you'd expect them to have that kind of polish, that kind of content to it that makes it feel like it is worth $70. But as of lately, especially in the FPS genre, we haven't really seen that all too much. Now, I don't know if it's because people were complacent with the way FPS games are going, or if the studios themselves didn't really have anything going for them, so they just said, screw it, pull out another game like this and call it a day. But for me, something about Battlefield 6 kinda scares me by having the basics of what we had in previous games. Kinda showcases how much of a drought we're in right now, especially with the FPS genre. And I myself find it scary that we're praising this, only because that we were in a toxic relationship with a lot of these AAA studios. We're not really getting any communication back from big AAA studios a lot of the times, especially with it being really straightforward and raw, that everything that they were doing was very similar of a toxic relationship with someone that you love and care for, right?
About a problem, only to realize that he just doesn't seem to grasp why the issue is so important to you? Have you ever presented an idea to a group and it's met with utter confusion? Or maybe you've been in an argument when the other person suddenly accuses you of not listening to what they're saying at all. What's going on here? The answer is miscommunication.
Like with Battlefield 6 and their comms, it feels as though that they are very communicative of it all. Like they are listening to us. I think with Battlefield Studios and Battlefield 6, they have to hold on to this foundation now. And that to me makes me realize that Battlefield is now having all this weight of the world because now they have everyone looking at them, praising them, giving them everything in order to make sure that Battlefield 6 becomes more successful over time, or better yet, make sure that the servers keep up and running so that people can enjoy the games that they want to play, and try to tell everyone that this is how you make a AAA studio game. I mean, they have modding support, they have a great multiplayer game with not that many issues with server side stuff, aside from maybe hit reg, but that got fixed a little while ago, and the campaign being kind of meh. To be honest with you, I wish that was a little bit better, but I think everyone knows why they play Battlefield 6. It's not for the story, but it's for their own stories and their own immersion within the multiplayer. And that's the fun factor. I haven't had fun in an FPS game in a really long time, and for me, I'm hoping that Battlefield can hold up this weight. I really do. I really think that because they're communicating and talking and saying, hey, we're listening to you on Reddit, on Discord, and everywhere else, we understand. They just reversed back the point system in Battlefield's ticket system, which, by the way, for those who don't know, all of the maps had like 1,000 tickets, but some of them were like adjusted a little bit and people didn't like that. And guess what? They're reversing it, which is great, which makes me realize that they're trying out stuff that's new, but if people don't like it, they're like, okay, we'll take it back. We're sorry. We're just trying to experiment. We apologize about that. That's what they're doing. And I'm happy about that. I really am. And that's why I'm so afraid of Battlefield 6 becoming successful, is I don't know if they're going to be able to handle all of that, you know? But they are a professional gaming studio. They made a great product. Even with the bugs, even with the issues, even with the unbalancedness of it all, it still has the one factor I think a lot of people missed out on for a long time: the fun factor. This factor, in my opinion, is the foundation of any game, no matter what. If it's not fun, why play it? And that to me makes me realize that a lot of these games that we've really wanted to see succeed failed because they missed out on the one thing that's so important to all games: to be fun, to be a game, to just mess around and have a good time. That's what games are all about, right? And what I'm really trying to get at here is when it really comes down to our complacency with mediocrity, it makes me realize that it's not just the devs that need to improve, it's also the community.
Training fleas requires a glass jar with a lid. The fleas are placed inside the jar, and the lid is then sealed. They are left undisturbed for 3 days. When the jar is opened, the fleas will not jump out. In fact, the fleas will never jump higher than the level set by the lid. Their behavior is now set for the rest of their lives.
And I'm calling them out a little bit because as someone who is a gamer myself, I've fallen into the trap of talking about, oh, they need to do this, this, and that in order to make us happy. But sometimes, and in some ways, I also believe that there needs to be some kind of responsibility of the community to not let apathy be a part of it. In layman's terms, we need to start being better as a community as well. We need to be direct and criticize on the things that we enjoy and not always praise mediocrity, because obviously the basic necessities of Battlefield 6 has shown us what the basics of a AAA studio game should have. But I really believe that because we were so desperate and so deprived of that fun factor, it almost makes me realize that us as a community, we're addicted to fun. Our dopamine receptors enjoy those kinds of moments within Battlefield or Call of Duty back then, because those games just had that fun factor to it, and it's become a drug for us. But at this point in time, since our providers are not really doing a good job of making that supplement for us to enjoy, we start to kind of have withdrawal symptoms to having fun. We start to get angry, we start to get pissed off, and we always tell ourselves that that used to be better before. But since we've had so much time and so much effort using this kind of fun factor and put it into our system, that we realize now that what we're really missing is the basics. We were always trying to get something that is worthwhile for innovation or worthwhile for our entertainment, but I've realized as a person that sometimes keeping it simple is better overall. And Battlefield 6 is simple, and that's why it's so good. And that's it for me, everyone. Next video I'm going to be talking about is Arc Raiders, my first impressions on it. I'm going to do much more gameplay than it is going to be about me commentating over like maybe a specific thing. But to be honest with you, I really do believe that Battlefield 6 is great. I'm not trying to glaze it, but I also do believe that it is a foundation that people now need to understand, that it's not only the developers that need to change, it's also the community, so they can reestablish how games are meant to be played in a very fun or exciting manner. So yeah, deuces, take care, everyone.